All right, with more, we are joined by retired Marine intelligence officer, national security expert, and co-host of the Strat podcast, Hal Kempfer. Hal, good to see you. Hope you had a nice Christmas holiday. Thanks for being with me tonight.
Thank you, Marlo. Hope you did too.
Yeah, I did. We just got a little bit of a glimpse in Trey Yingst's reporting there about this new strategy that Israel is taking on, and this includes going after the so-called urban refugee camps to get to Hamas. Isn't this just going to further inflame the Palestinians and their supporters? What do you make of this strategy?
Well, it certainly has inflamed the West Bank. The international community has pretty much calling for a ceasefire as soon as possible, for the most part, not the United States, but other countries have. I should explain that these urban refugee camps, these things have been around for a long time. Some of these things have been around for 75 years. They're built up urban areas. They're called refugee camps because the Palestinians that are there had eventually planned to go back to Israel. Of course, for many, when it started, the plan was go back to Israel once the Arab nations around Israel had forced Israel off the map, and that never came about, obviously. So they call them refugee camps, but they're actually built up areas. Hamas has put many of its positions deliberately in these refugee camps.
Okay. Well, you know, this is, as mentioned, day 82, and Israel saying this is going to last for many more months. Just over the weekend, Egypt floated a ceasefire deal that called for phased hostage releases and also to establish a Palestinian government. Both Hamas and Israel didn't give it a second look, just said no. What is going on with the hostages right now? We know that there are more than 100 that remain in custody of Hamas.
There are negotiations. There are discussions, active discussions going on, using the Qataris essentially as interlocutors with Hamas. Not a lot of headway right now, but there are active discussions on what to do. The Egyptian proposal that the Qataris also were involved in was first dismissed by Hamas and PIJ, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and primarily because at the end of it, it doesn't have Hamas and PIJ in charge. It's what they call a technocratic Palestinian regime or government, and that was out of hand. And it was only after the war cabinet in Israel had looked at it for a while that eventually Israel said, we're not going to do it. But there are components of that that are still probably actively being negotiated and discussed.
Okay, well, that is good to hear, just to know that negotiations are underway behind the scenes. Let's talk the broader region and how concerned we should be if this turns into a bigger regional conflict. I'm referring to the U.S. retaliatory strike against Iran-backed Hezbollah in Iraq. This was in response to a drone strike on a U.S. base in Iraq that injured 3 U.S. military members. How concerned, Hal, should we be about a broader regional conflict?
Well, the White House is concerned. Certainly our Arab allies in the region, Saudi Arabia and others, are very concerned that this thing could turn into a Middle East war, if you will. You know, Iran launched a drone that hit a ship off of India, and now the Indian Navy is running patrols to deter Iran from attacking in the Arabian Sea. That's pretty far away from Israel. In the Red Sea, the task force, U.S. ships today, repulsed 17 different types of attacks, drones, cruise missiles, anti-ship ballistic missiles that were being fired at commercial traffic in the Red Sea. There is just a lot going on. And then, of course, Hezbollah in the north, as Trey Yingst talked about, is doing some attacks up there. But also the U.S. hit 3 different targets. And there's been over 100 attacks on U.S. bases in Syria and Iraq since mid-October. It's just busy. It hasn't blown up yet, but they're trying to keep a cap on it and try to limit the violence to try and keep the whole thing from exploding.
Yeah, I think there's about 500 to 600 miles between Israel and Iraq. Nonetheless, Israel's military spokesman went on the record saying Hezbollah is risking the stability of the region for the sake of Hamas. So no doubt we're not done having these conversations with you. As mentioned, Hal Kempfer has his own podcast. It is called the Strat Podcast. You can check it out on Spotify or wherever you find your podcasts. Hal Kempfer, thanks so much for being with me.
Thank you, Marla.